Hi there, I'm Brendan, nednednerB, the Schizophrenic. This is a live Q&A about schizophrenia. One second. I'm gonna put my glasses on. So, I got a question in my email contact form from my website, which is a great way to ask me a question. You can go to my website, it's linked below. There's a contact form. You can put in your name if you want, or your email if you want. That's not necessary, but you can leave a question. And this week, Fernando asked me about my book, Insights Toward Sanity. That is available by paperback on Amazon. I don't have a digital version released available, but that's a great idea, Fernando. I will make my book, Insights Toward Sanity, available in its current form as a PDF on my website. I'll put it up there. And I am slowly working on a revision of my book, which is basically paring it down a bunch because it was a huge chunk of text, which was a bunch of random essays and a lot of stuff. Anyway, so thanks for showing interest in that. Secondly, Fernando asked about, he said that I've read many scientific papers about schizophrenia, and there's this thing they call self-disorder, or ipseity disturbance, which some scientists theorize could be the core of the illness or the main source of symptoms of schizophrenia. And Fernando would like to know if I agree with that theory and how does it manifest in my everyday life in practical terms. Thank you for your attention. Well, oh, hey, is that Fernando there who's watching? Hey, it's me. Yes, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. So I did take a look at the Wikipedia article on self-disorder that you linked, and down in the future directions and controversy section, I'm going to read out this quote. In his review, Sass agrees that the focus of research into self-disorder has focused too much on the self, and mentions attempts to look at disturbances in the person's relationship with other people and the world, with work being done to create an examination of anomalous world experience, which will look at the person's anomalous experiences regarding time, space, person's language, and atmosphere. Okay. So focusing too much on the self and not looking at the relationship with other people and the world. Now, my own perspective of schizophrenia, which I'll link in the description after I finish the interview, the Q&A. I'll link to an article that I actually wrote that was peer-reviewed and published in the Trumpeter, which is a publication of the Athabasca University, and basically the thesis of my paper was that schizophrenia is primarily an ecological dislocation, which is a dislocation and disturbance in the relationship with other people in the world. So I thought that is the primary part, and that the stress and ecological dislocation of the world and the community and that it kind of, I think that it bogs down on the self, it weighs down on the self, and that the self is where the disorder is viewed. The doctor and others will look at the schizophrenic and go, that is where the illness is. But from my experience is more like, well, everything's messed up. Like this anomalous world experience that they talk about. That's quite common in schizophrenia. There's strange things, strange beliefs, strange perceptions, strange emotions, and it seems like normal people out there don't have mental illness, but I think it is the group collective that has some of the disturbance. ecologically, our species is polluting. We have dumps with huge heaps of toxic trash, which are not good for the environment. And we just think, whatever, whatever. That's a dislocation, big time. And it weighs down on me. I look at trash on the street. I try to pick up plastic. I want to pick up more. I see garbage all over the place. I live in a city. I see garbage all over the place. I want to pick up all that garbage, right? So, so that is a self-disorder, but it's a result from the world, I think. So it's like, yeah, I think I would agree with Sass that the research into self-disorder has focused too much on the self, but that I think it's an interesting way to look at schizophrenic dislocation and disturbance. There's a spot here where it says that Mishra et al. Criticized the concept of the minimal self as an explanation for self-disorder, saying that it is unfalsifiable. It might be even like just an intrinsic description of our internal states and our internal disposition and outlook, that like it's unfalsifiable, meaning a scientist can't make a claim that can be falsified, which indicates to me that it's either so out there that it's not really about reality, or it's somehow kind of intrinsic to a description of reality that you just can't like talking about gravity as something that makes things fall. That's not something that we can really prove or disprove. It just happens. Explaining gravity or talking about it is something else that physicists are doing, not really like giving it an intrinsic description and falsifying the intrinsic description. Like the intrinsic description. Maybe gravity is weird forces of a weird particle, and maybe that's how it happens, but that's still not the same thing as like saying schizophrenia is the mind. The mind is sick. And like that's not falsifiable, it's just true. So that's what I would get from that kind of criticism. Anyway, so thanks, Fernando, for that question. It was a great way to start off the live Q&A. So thank you. Yeah. If anyone else who's watching right now has a question, feel free to shoot it at me. You're welcome, Fernando. Glad to give you some thoughts. I did not make that art. My mother made that art, Silver Dweller. It's actually possible for me to take my laptop over there. Anyway. Mostly abstract, lots of pores, acrylic pouring. Thanks for showing an interest. Fernando's asking, what have you been doing on your free time lately? I've been doing some video and audio editing for about climate change. A little group, including me, has been making ideas and making little bits of content. We put out 2 videos and we put them on Twitter, and we tried to make a tweet storm, get activity going. Another thing I've been doing is working on the audio of a podcast about freshwater issues in BC here, where I live. And that's actually called Freshwater Stream. If you search for Freshwater Stream podcast, you'll find it. And I edited and mixed the audio, and the team I work with did the interview and did a lot of the planning and organization over it, but I did some audio editing. So Freshwater Stream. Thanks for asking. I'll put that in the description below too. All right, that's 10 minutes into the live Q&A. I will be done the live Q&A at about 5 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer. Do you play video games? I used to play video games, but when I started making electronic music in 2005 or so, I seriously slowed down playing video games, and I started playing more with the computer software just to make the music I made. So I think the computer programs on the computer, music software on the computer definitely appeases my desire to click and get results back, which is something video games did for me too, I guess. Silver Dweller is asking, do you ever get cognitive dissonance when it comes to insight into your condition? I'm not sure about that. Do you have an example of that you could give me? I usually think of cognitive dissonance as something my brain or mind is upholding that another thing my brain or mind upholds is disagreeing with it or dissonant with it. And I'm not sure about that when it comes to insight into my condition. Sometimes I feel like I don't know whether I have it for a while, and I feel both at the same time. Okay. Yes, I guess I do. Sometimes I do want to think and believe that my schizophrenia is just the way I am, and the stress and the stress and trauma, abuse, that sort of thing, those sorts of things set off the symptoms and set off the stress. And other times, I guess I do think like, what the heck is wrong with my head? I wish that would stop. I am messed up. I am all confused and psychotic. And sometimes I think I want to, I think I have cognitive dissonance about effort to hold on and maintain. And like, I think about sleeping or staying up and fighting sleep or fighting to stay awake. And I wonder if sometimes my impulses are contradictory. I will want to slow down and relax, but I'll be rushing around and I won't know exactly how to relax properly. Yeah. Anyhow. Are you on antipsychotics at the moment? F.A. Costello asks. And yes, I am on antipsychotics at this very moment. I took my fills this morning. After so many years on antipsychotics and so much cooperation with doctors and so much successful early intervention years ago, I am on a fairly low dosage of meds, and I'm on all newer types of meds, not any of the older types. And I don't have a lot of symptoms that affect me, that bother me. In previous years on different meds, I did have side effects and maybe less beneficial effects. And after 4 hospitalizations and shuffles of all the medication, I do much better. can sleep okay, I can wake up okay, and those are kind of the primary places I had side effects in the past. I'd sleep too much and not feel wakeful enough. Sleep too much and not be wakeful enough. It's not good. That's how lots of people feel on lots of different psychiatric meds. That's a problem with psychiatric medication. They don't shuffle them enough between hospitalizations, and I think a lot of patients feel stuck at their place with their meds, and they don't feel a lot of flexibility and ability. Well, that's 15 minutes and 45 seconds. So thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to cut the live Q&A off today. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your questions. And like F.A. Costello did today, you can go to my website, which is in the description below. And it has a contact form that you can put your question in anonymously and tune in probably Sunday or next Wednesday to hear your question answered. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.